Okay, back in the game. I didn't notice anything too out of place, so I'll continue on. So, go back to Doc Mitchell's house and see if we can loot anything. Ball caps. He's a doctor after all, so he has to have some medical supplies, anti-venom, fuse impacts, irradiation medicine, laser pistol. I do like that. I mean, having access to energy weapons right from the start. If you are going to make it one of the three major weapon systems in the game, you need to provide the players who choose it some kind of weapon right at the start. Especially in the Fallout 1 and 2 games, it's a real pain in the ass to sometimes get an energy weapon at all. Let alone Fallout Tactics. Broken 9mm submachine gun. We have the repair skill to repair it. And a crate of Sunset Sarsaparilla. It increases our need for water, but it heals 2 hit points for 25 seconds, so that's at least 50 points of health from a single bottle of liquid. And this is sort of what I mean when I say survivability is sort of useless, because the food and drink heal quite a lot without any help. We have science of 25, so we can create a steam packs or drugs from a chemistry set. I'll take the drugs. Steam packs is usually easier to find. Selection of drugs, less so. And since we can use them without any worries, I do want them. Drugs usually don't have weight either, so we can carry as many drugs as we want with us. Also talk to the doctor again. Ask him about local areas, the town we're in at the moment. Be something else too.
Welcome back. I had hoped you wouldn't need to come see me again so soon. What can I do for you?
Yeah, what town is this?
This here's Good Springs, named after the water we got here, just down the road to the southeast. Good Springs Source, they call it. It's a quiet town, and that's how we like it. We don't go looking for trouble, though occasionally it sees fit to come looking for us.
Who was it that rescued me?
That'd be Victor. Curious fella. He's sort of odd, and I don't just mean 'cause he's a robot. I couldn't tell you much about him. He's real friendly, don't get me wrong. You just get the sense that that ain't the whole picture. Just a feeling. He keeps to himself, mostly. You want to know more about him, you'll have to ask him yourself. He has a shack on the southern edge of town.
So a robot rescued me. Do you know anything about the man that shot me?
I didn't see him or the men with him. You might ask around town, though. Could be someone saw which way they was headed. Your best bet would probably be Trudy, the bartender at the saloon up the road. If anyone saw anything, she'd know about it.
Anything else you can tell me about the area?
Well, there's a general store just up the road, run by a fella named Chet. He don't got nothing fancy, but he's got your basics covered. If you're looking to wet your whistle, just past Chet's is the Prospector Saloon. The bartender there, Trudy, knows everyone in town. Other than that, there's not much to see. Just people trying to scratch out a living.
Fair enough. I was hoping to ask about sites outside the city. Tell me about yourself, Doc.
Well, I already told you I came from a vault. After that, I was a traveling doctor for a spell. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Most folks out here ain't educated, so people with medical know-how are hard to come by. I found that I could help a lot of people with what I knew, and that was all right with me. Eventually, I went back and married my childhood sweetheart, and that was the end of my traveling days. Didn't miss it none then. Still don't.
You said before you had something taken from you.
Well, ain't we all, right? That was a long time ago. I don't pay it much mind anymore.
So at least we got a little bit of information out of him.
Sure.
This might be a good time to talk about my character. In the previous game, I was pretty much as good as you can possibly get, helping out people for free, things like that. Mm. I don't want to play the same character here. I don't think I'll be evil for the sake of evil and just screwing everyone over either, but and there's a but. I guess the motto for my character would be something like as long I as long as I have my fun, nothing else really matters. So very self-centered approach to life and doing things. It doesn't mean I won't do certain things that might be considered good. It's just that if the reason for doing is because I want to do it for some reason, and that's it. It's not because I want to help others for the sake of helping them. I'm just a gal looking to have fun for myself, primarily. I do have a fascination with explosives, so that's a dangerous mix. It doesn't mean I'm totally without any kind of morals. For example, I feel I owe this town and their people something. At least these people who basically saved my life from certain death. I feel I don't I can't screw them over. I owe them that much no matter what. So I'm not a totally worthless person, but very self-centered nevertheless. For God's sakes. It's hard to find a good balance. Okay, that should be good enough. I traded most of my equipment for 8 steam packs. That's not a lot. That won't be worth much either. I mainly just want to get rid of the extra weight.
You take care now.
Yeah. You too, Doc. Well, we still have a few items I want to get rid of. Yep. Fucker. Lot of ammunition. Medical supplies. Empty syringe. They'll probably be useful later on. I don't want to start hoarding equipment that might be useful later on, since we do have a weight cap to think about. I'd prefer to hoard things that are useful right now. Cigarette packs. There's one major objective we have to keep in mind for the moment. That is to get a home, some kind of base of operations where we can start dumping all the extra stuff. There's never you can never tell what you'll find useful later on. So gecko steak. We are basically lacking water at the moment. That's not a too big of a deal. We could probably even drink some from here. They have a lot of we're not working plumbing. Yeah, activate sink at least to some extent. No radiation from that, so we got rid of our need for water. Again, the place is called Good Springs for a reason. This is one of the few locations where you do have a pretty much unlimited supply of fresh water to drink. It's a small farming town. They're growing those big horned animals and growing crops. There's a sort of a extended tutorial in this game if you want to get to know the systems, and I think I'll do it.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
Yeah. Doc Mitchell said you could teach me to survive in the desert.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
Well, this can be a very extended part of the game, but again, it's optional. And unlike in Fallout 3, where it took ages to get out the vault and just get on your way. Here, you can take all the extended things, but you don't have to. You can just get going, and I think most of the character creation time was me explaining what I'm doing anyway, so it's quite quick to make a new character and start a new game. I want to talk to him.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Yeah, so you're Victor. Thanks for digging me out of that grave.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
That doesn't seem to be correspond with what the doc said about him. Basically, he said that no one really knows what he doesn't really get involved in anything, and no one really knows him. So he's lying. How did you find me?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were, so I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Do you know who those men who attacked me?
Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
Yeah. I've never seen a robot like you before.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
How did you end up in Good Springs?
I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any.
So that's suspicious, certainly, but it's also pretty clear that he wasn't here for me. Been here for a long time. So maybe it's just a coincidence that he helped me out. Yeah, goodbye.
Happy trails!
Big corners. I don't have any leaps. That's freaky looking.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them.
Another change from the Fallout 3 game, iron sights. I definitely prefer this. The weapon zoom is frankly crap. It's better than nothing if you don't have sights, but most normal weapons have, so I do prefer this.
That's the right idea. Look down the sight. Try crouching down and staying still. It'll help your aim. Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
Sure.
Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
There is, even though I removed the auto aim, there is a natural spread to all weapons. I think there might not be too much of a spread with this weapon, because the skill requirements are there. The bullet icon on the weapon and the figure 25. So that's what you need for the submachine gun. Minimum strength of 3. Here, with the initial weapons, the skill requirement is 0 though. So varmint rifles, 0 skill, 3 strength. We have both of them. So there shouldn't be too much of a spread. The better weapons, more powerful weapons, usually have a lot higher. Naturally have a lot higher, but very few weapons require 100 in a weapon to be able to use effectively. Some do. I doubt I'll ever get 100 in small weapons, but you never know. You never know. And I certainly would prefer pistols in general. Mainly because they look cool, and I like the variety of pistols the game has. I mean, why not? You might as well do something like that. It's not bad or anything, but we don't have really good pistols though. I don't like this pistol. It's not a bad weapon, but I just don't like it. So I'll probably avoid using certain pistols just because they don't look right. It's a terrible reason, but it's also the only one that matters when you are playing alone.
Hear that up on the ridge behind me there? We got some geckos to clear out. Bunch of little monsters is what they are. Seems like Doc Mitchell treats more gecko bites than anything else. Let's see if we can get a little closer. If we move quietly, we can get the jump on them. More likely to hit something vital that way.
Yeah, it's good enough for a reason to explain why you get sneak attack pretty close.
Okay, you're on. Go give him hell. Oh, that's it.
That's another one at least. I don't think they've spotted us really. That's why they haven't charged us.
Oh, that's it. Come on!
Yeah, what the hell did I push? I'm walking.
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few caps to me.
Sure.
Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with two of us. Come with me.
Let's go. We need to enter VATS combat or turn-based combat system. Otherwise, the tutorial will never stop bothering me about it. Yeah. Just hit the torso.
Come on!
Yeah, these guys aren't too much trouble. Next. Damn dog. She's dead.
Come on! Come on! Help!
Oh yeah, she barely survived.
Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, you should have what I got. You look thirsty.
Okay, reputation. There's good reputation, mixed reputation, bad reputation. Yeah, the groups are sort of sometimes paired in that if you get good reputation with one, you naturally get sort of a bad with the other. But not always. If you get bad reputation, too much bad reputation, you'll be shot on sight, things like that. There's also faction armor, so if I dress up as a New California Republic soldier, people generally will treat me as a part of that faction, regardless of my personal reputation. Yeah. Good Spring has accepted me, probably for saving her life. Fine with me. I'll take the gecko meat. It lowers my strength if I eat it raw, but I think I can get enough skill to properly prepare the food quite soon. I might not have it at the moment, but it shouldn't take too much. Again, free water. There's a few of these wells, so water should not be a problem as long as we're anywhere around good springs.
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about living off the land and making useful things for yourself. Interested?
Yeah, sure.
Alright then. We'll need a couple ingredients to get started. Gonna want some xander root and a brock flower. Let me think now. I know I've seen brock flowers growing up at the graveyard, and I seem to remember there being xander root over by the schoolhouse. Bring those on back to me, and we'll get cooking.
It's even if you're familiar with Fallout 3, I'd recommend playing the tutorial. Although a lot of things are exactly
Howdy.
the same, some things have changed. And you'll probably miss a lot of the new things if they're not pointed out to you. One of them is probably that crafting has changed quite a bit. It's been expanded quite a bit. Instead of having workbenches, you have workbenches, ammo loading benches, and campfires, at least. I'm not sure if there's other things. And although you can find new schematics, there are also a ton of schematics you already know. You just need to have the proper equipment and skills to make things happen there. I'm sure you would spot the ammo loading benches. They're kind of hard to miss when you encounter them, but campfires you might easily miss. In the previous game, Fallout 3, they were just part of the background, so you could quite easily assume that they're part of the background in this one too, and they're not. And there's our Xander route. So you can pick up some items from the terrain too, gathering ingredients, things like that. More of a familiar thing if you are coming from the Elder Scrolls series games. Again, a new thing. Skill magazine. Melee weapon plus 10. These are sort of like skill books, except the bonus is a lot larger and temporary. I don't feel the weapon skills are all that useful there, but for example, lockpicking, hacking skill magazines can be fairly useful. I also seem to recall that comprehension, which as a skill point to you get from skill books, also doubles the effectiveness of skill magazines. So that can be very powerful ability to have those magazines. Yeah, a reloading bench here. I can break down my existing ammunition. You might want to do this because I think, excluding lead, the parts have no weight. So you can carry a lot more ammunition if you break it down and then sort of make new ammunition as needed. You can't make all kinds of ammunition, but you can make a lot of them, and even different types of ammunition. So buckshot, buckshot magnum, coin shot, slug for 12 gauge. I don't see a way to make armor piercing ammunition though, so you'll have to buy that. You can make scrap metal to lead. Explosive rocket ammunition, incendiary rocket ammunition, nails. There's a nail gun you can get, so you can use nail as ammunition. That's probably the only reason I'd go to the Lonesome Road DLC right from the start, because you can get a free nail gun there, then just come back. It's an interesting weapon. It rapid fires and really messes up the. If you fire here, it sort of will break that wall too. It looks quite nice. In Workbench, a lot of recipes right from the start. Weapon repair kits, time bombs, super steam packs, satchel charges. Need the equipment, need skills. So science 70, science 90. Leather belt, mud fruit, Nuka-Cola, steam pack. So a lot of recipes. You can also recycle some drained energy weapon ammunition. Again, depleted ammunition like that doesn't weigh anything, so it's another good reason to carry it around. It sort of gets around the ammo weight limitation. And not fully, but to at least some extent. Mojave Express drop box. Another new mechanic. It allows you to send items from one box to another. I can see it being useful for two things. If you want to get some large mass of items to a town, to a certain location, and you know you can't carry them at the moment, so use a drop box. Other is to temporarily store items there that you can't carry with you. I don't intend to use them over much, but I might have to if we don't get some kind of house or a base fairly soon. I know at least two ways we can get a house, but neither is extremely fast if I don't use my experience from previous times I played this. No, I'm not sure I will. There's not a huge amount of game you have to play through before getting access anyway. But you can just get it pretty much without gaining a level up. I could get a house for myself, and that's quite a. But that's really, I'd have to do it in a way that uses a lot of outside character information to achieve it. So I'm not overly fond in doing that. Bark Scorpion. This is the graveyard. It's also the place where we got our free ventilation hole installed. Blood flies, I hate these. And to kill you, just because I can. They're slow to turn, so I can easily flank them. Another thing to note, there are warning signs in this game in the terrain. Heed them. They're not here for show. If I go there on this character, I'm dead. Not just it's hard pressed to survive, it's pretty much guaranteed death. So, and this is the grave. Distinctive cigarette butts. I'll pick all of them. They have 0 weight and they have value, so why not? Need more. We can dig up graves. Real estate. But we need a shovel for that, and I don't have a shovel. You need a shovel to dig here. I saw a couple of shovels in the cutscenes here, but apparently they took the shovels with them. Ooh. Some food. Another grave. Ooh. And snow globe. Limited edition Mojave Landmark Snow Globe. These rare pre-war artifacts are widely considered to be useless baubles, but rumor has it some collectors will pay dearly for them. I know someone who will pay for those, and quite dearly indeed. So It's another collector's item. See if you can collect them all. It's a good source of money at certain point of the game. A good bottle cap injection. Okay, we have the items we need for Sunny Smile, so let's visit her. At least get the tutorial over with. We still need to talk to a lot of the town folk after that. Maybe explore a few of the houses, things like that. But after this, we are truly ready to go and explore further. We know everything about the basic mechanics we need to know to survive. There are some finer details that we haven't been introduced yet. Enemy's threshold is probably one of them. The differences between different ammo types, something like that. But that'll come to you naturally as you shop in the game. You notice different types of ammunition, wonder what they'll do, take a look at them, and you'll quickly figure things out. You don't need to be explained. Don't need to be the game to hold your hand on such things. In many ways, the tutorial is sort of pointless for me too. But we might as well do it. Certainly makes in-character sense. We just got shot in the head. We might as well learn a few new tricks here. We certainly could use the help.
Let me see what you got. Yeah, these'll do just fine. Just fine. Alright now. We're gonna be making something folks on the trail call healing powder. Go on over to that campfire now. Give it a try.
Make the most useless thing ever. -1 perception, +1 hit point for 18 seconds. If you recall, the bottle of Sunset Sarsaparilla heals 2 hit points for 25 seconds. So it's more than twice as effective with no negatives. There's one thing going for the healing powder is that it has a very low weight, but in all honesty, it's pretty much a useless piece of crap. I won't be making any of them after this.
Hey, that's not bad, see? All it takes to make a recipe is the right ingredients and the right know-how. Sometimes it won't be a campfire you need. Might need to do some work on your guns and ammo, maybe. Important thing to get is it's all the same idea. You just need to find the right place to set up shop. Workbench or reloading bench, whatever. Well, I hope that's enough to get you started. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never forgive me. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi. Hi there. Sticking around Good Springs for a while longer?
The problem with the healing powder is really that food heals too much, even at low levels. It makes crafting these type of healing items pretty much totally pointless. So again, if you by overpowering the food healing aspect, they made certain things entirely useless in this game. So that kind of healing item is not something you'll ever need, and it's a shame. I don't see much point in having too much of a food heal anyway. It could have been as low as something like food heals you 5 points. It's not meant to use as a constant healing item, but it'll give you something. In order to fully heal yourself, you'd have to drink or eat a ton of stuff. It would make healing items much more wanted. Also, uh, you'd have to be much hard pressed to find stim packs because they have no weight, and I think they're better healing items. So unless you're really bad at this game, you'll never use those healing powder items. What do you do around here?
I hunt geckos mostly. The meat's pretty good and I can always find a buyer for the hides. I also help keep the town clear of rad scorpions and coyotes. Not many people live in Good Springs, so wildlife is always creeping in.
I don't suppose there's any work available.
Not in Good Springs, no. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it, take these.
A magazine on locksmiths?
If the lock's too much for you to handle, reading through the magazine might give you the edge you need.
And the puppy beans.
You'll need those to pick the lock. Be careful, though. Put too much pressure on them, and they'll snap.
This is more of an extended part of the tutorial, I feel.
Always happy to help someone down on their luck.
She's a really good person. Probably similar to what I was in the previous game. That's something I won't be here. Yeah, let's talk about areas around Goose Springs.
Sure, what do you want to know?
Any other towns?
Southeast of here is Prim, can't miss it. Since it has the giant old roller coaster right in the middle of town. The NCR's got an outpost there. If you follow the road north, you'll eventually hit Sloan and Quarry Junction. They mine rocks or something, but I heard they got troubles lately. I wouldn't head that direction if I were you, though. Got critters up there that don't take kindly to getting shot.
What kind of critters?
Around here, mostly coyotes and geckos. The coyotes are pretty dangerous in large packs, but otherwise they're nothing to really worry about. The geckos aren't too tough, but they've got a nasty bite. I've heard about bigger, nastier versions out in the wasteland, but I've never seen them. Stick to the roads when you can, and steer clear of the hills north of Good Springs. The critters up there are big and poisonous.
Okay, the NCR.
The New California Republic. Bunch of settlers and soldiers coming in from the west, fixing on making Nevada their own. They can be right pushy, but the roads are safer because of them, so I tend to let it go. Not that I got a choice.
So, what does the NCR protect you from?
Well, the wildlife for one thing, rowdy locals for another. They're protecting their own. Just happens to help us. They've been holding off this other group from the east, too.
What other group?
Got a funny name. Call themselves Caesar's Legion. Never seen them in these parts, so I couldn't tell you much. I hear rumors, that's about it. Supposedly they keep slaves and they got some real nasty ways of killing folks. But maybe that's just something folks in the NCR cooked up to make themselves seem more useful here. Less uninvited. If you want to know anything else, just ask.
Yeah. What's the best route to take to Prim?
Sure can. Take the road southeast out of town till it hits the freeway. Prim is the town with the roller coaster straight south. Can't miss it. NCR patrols do a good job of keeping the highway clear, but I'd keep your gun where you can reach it easily. You never know who you'll run into. Off the road, you'll probably start running into hostile wildlife. My advice would be to stick to the highway when you can.
Yeah, thanks.
Until next time.
She was very, very helpful. Again, another Good Springs resident that I sort of owe a little gratitude towards. I hate owing a debt to anyone. Even if they don't consider it a problem, I don't like it. I'd like to repay it back if I can. We might as well visit the schoolhouse. It's an extended part of the tutorial. at least in my opinion, so might as well finish that to get reintroduced to hacking, lockpicking, getting used to the magazines, although we probably won't need them. I took slot picking as a tag skill, so I probably have enough skill to make do without buffing it temporarily. Praying mantises. I'm harvesting their forelegs. There's a simple reason for that. Again, its value has no weight. Maybe it'll prove to be totally useless, maybe not. There's very little reason not to take it. Zero reason. Well, it wastes your time, I guess, so that's one reason not to take it. I don't think the wasting of your time is too much, though. Not at this point, anyway. There's another change I did notice. Hopefully it's an indication of an overall change instead of a chance. Uh, I'm getting cherry bombs from random lockers or containers. That didn't really happen in Fallout 3, and that's a problem because if you are making your custom explosives, cherry bombs are a vital part of many explosive devices, so it would be great if we could get them from some random lockers at least. They don't have weight either, so we can take as many as we can find. Duct tape, scrap metal. These things are useful, but I don't want to start picking that sort of stuff up until we have a base of operations where I can dump the extra ones. Otherwise, that 100 pounds of free weight we still have will run out very, very quickly. And we have an easy hacking terminal and an easy save. We have a yeah. We have skills to do both, so let's do it. Strange. Not that. That. Oh crap. We should be able to figure this out. There's a reason I'm not just powering down and redoing this. It's because they've added a time delay there. So in the previous game I could have just get right back to here, but here there's sort of a hacking sequence where you reboot the system. It's a time penalty added to, so you would have an incentive to try to figure things out on the first try instead of just powering down and retrying. It's not a huge delay, but it's a delay. It's not this one. Free journey, I guess. I mean, we only have a single try left, so I'd like to see if I can read out some of the options here. Yeah, I need to power it down. There are multiple options that still would fit. Yeah, I can't skip this. And the time delay, it's not all that big. It's just a restart of the system. But it's there. Hmm. Heading. And I'm not gonna disengage the lock. Uh, yeah. Crappy farming of experience type of thing, totally unnecessary, but stealth boy. I won't be doing this after that. This, I mean, the experience farming. Okay, the big reward there was stealth boy, and that stealth boy would basically allowed us to do one thing. The obvious roads north where we want to go really are blocked. This is a not very dangerous monster group here. Another dangerous monster group here. With the stealth boy we could bypass them and basically gain a quick access to the core areas here, where New Vegas is. It's an option. We're not. I don't think we're gonna use that. No. Yeah. Now the tutorial is officially over. We talk to Victor again.
Howdy, partner.
Yeah, can't talk about anything new.
Happy trails.
I am somewhat interested in seeing what kind of house does he live in. That's a bed, that's a radio, ammunition, weapon repair kit. This looked like a pretty normal house. Has plumbing and everything. At least the sink or toilet. And fission batteries. Huh. Way too normal looking of a
Howdy,
house for a
partner.
robot.